to Romany Pirates. We are taking Romany in today to the mechanics. She's due an MOT and a major service as well, apparently. Not just a service.
A major one.
Major one, which comes with a major cost.
Major service. That's why they had major on the front of it, innit? If it's major, it knocks you up by a grand or whatever it is, doesn't
So
it?
we're taking her into Ford today. So wish us luck and hopefully she passes. See you on the other side. We've come to a little pub just around the corner to sit out while we wait for the MOT to be done. Fingers crossed she passes. It's always really nerve-wracking, isn't it, when you take them in for an MOT? It's like you're just waiting to have like this massive bill at the end of it. Anyway, Reese has just nipped in to go and get me half a cola so I can sit and calm my nerves.
I'm a little bit nervous about whether she's going to pass. She is going to pass because she's still a little baby, isn't she? So it's just annoying, isn't it, when you've got to do it, but it is what it is.
And it's maintaining her as well. And there is a reason why we've kind of, because obviously, you know, you take them to a Ford garage, it's more expensive for like services and stuff like that in it. But there is a reason why we are being so obsessed with making sure that everything is done on her before we go.
We need to make sure she's absolutely in top-notch condition.
But why?
Shall we tell them?
Yeah. I think they need to know now.
We'll
They've been waiting long
There's
enough.
no
You've been waiting long enough now, I think.
So we are going to finish the boat over the next couple of weeks, and then we've got an absolutely epic journey coming up.
Absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. So I know we've been kind of like messing you about for weeks, just teasing you with this. But we have not been anywhere abroad since before COVID, and we've really missed it, haven't we? We've really missed travelling. We love the UK. We love travelling around the UK. We've discovered more about the UK since COVID than we actually have ever known. Do you know, we've discovered so many places because we've sort of had to stay and start looking around, and we've loved it.
Places that we'd never ever would have known otherwise. So it's been good in that point. But
it has been good, but we're ready now for some global warming, for some sun, and to get away a bit. So we're heading off around Europe in September. So we're gonna probably, obviously we'll start off in France, going to head over on the Eurotunnel, taking Daisy with us. So Daisy's had to go through all of her vaccines and get her ready to go. And that hasn't been cheap neither, has it?
No, it's not cheap.
It's expensive now since Brexit.
Nothing's cheap.
So we're obviously taking off. We're going to sort of travel through France, head down through Spain.
Spend a few weeks in Ibiza.
Few weeks in Ibiza, and just probably head back up the other side of Spain, maybe, or something. We're not really sure, are we? We're never really sure.
We are leaving the UK. We are leaving the UK in a few weeks, and we are heading to Europe for a few weeks.
We're going to go find some amazing places. Some places we've been to before, some new places that we've been dying to go to for ages. So
Romany Pirates go global. That's what we're going to call this little mini series.
So we just want to make sure that, you know, Romany's in top-notch condition, and we've got no worries with her on the road, so that we can just relax and chill, you know, and spend the next few months in Europe. Just had a phone call. She's passed. Not quite with flying colours. There are a couple of recommendations, but they're just wear and tear stuff, so we're going to get that sorted anyway, so we know it's done. But she's passed the full service, the major service has been done. So we're going to head now, pick her up, get these other little bits done before we set off travelling around Europe. So there'll be something that we'll need to get done over the next few weeks. And we've also got some upgrades I'll tell you about a little bit later on, about things that we're going to be doing to her as well. So she's going to get some nice new posh upgrades done before we set off. So let's go get her.
We're wondering about the boat. Please don't worry if you're following us on the boat. We're not abandoning her. Obviously we're going to Europe for a good few weeks, basically because we're now just waiting on the Canal and River Trust business proposals, all that kind of stuff to go through before we can make a start. So we're gonna obviously go to Europe, and then when we come back, hopefully that'll all be through and we can just crack on and get the boat on the water and crack straight on with the business. So that's the plan basically. So if you're a boat follower of us, rather than the van side of stuff, please don't worry, because we're not just leaving her, we're not just abandoning her. So there she is, all MOT'd. We're going to go give her a clean now because she's not looking too pretty on the outside. It's all clean now. Well, as clean as it can be. It's hard in a van because you can't get on roof. Like, you can't do it properly, can we?
We need one of them telescopic ladders, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what we need, so that we can sort of be able to get up there. Because when we've got like solar on and stuff like that as well, you need to be able to get up and check it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. The next job to do is Emma's been buying on Facebook Marketplace again for the boat. So she's seen a couple of bits, so we're going to go pick them up now, take them across to the boat. There's not much change because it's unnoticeable jobs that we've done all week really. So there's not much to see. So the next time you'll see kind of a drastic change in the boat. It'll be kind of the aesthetics and the curtains up and the mast up and everything like that. So yeah, but we'll drop these off at the boat.
We've been and picked up not one, not two, but 3 large items for the boat. Reese looked at me and he's like, Emma, they don't belong on a boat. There's no faith in my vision whatsoever. None.
The most bizarre things you've ever seen. Like, how does that go on a boat?
Trust me, it's going to work. We'll show you them in a bit. It's going to work. Tomorrow is my birthday, so we're going to have a bit of a sort of gathering with some friends and what have you. Hopefully we'll be able to show you a little bit of that. Depends how I'm feeling once we're on a date or on a night out.
Emma's bought these massive bird cages, 2 of them. I don't even know what you've got planned for them. Look at them.
They're going to look brilliant. They're going to look absolutely brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put inside some of our hats that are for sale, and I'm also probably going to put inside a skeleton and have it like locked in there, you know, like you're having a pirate ship. You have no faith in my ideas whatsoever. None whatsoever.
The van is that full that you can't actually see, but there's actually a bench in here as well. So let's get this unloaded. So that's everything unloaded. We're not going to show you the boat now because there's not a right lot to see that's not in the other episodes. So if you do want to see the boat, go and have a look back at the other episodes. But the next time that you'll see the boat, it'll be hopefully finished. So you'll be able to see it in the full big reveal of the boat.
Romany pirates.
Yeah, real pirates here.
YouTube sensations.
Yeah.
You look a lot cooler than we do.
It's pirates and pirates. We're half baked and you're fully baked. And then definitely today because it's Emma's birthday today as well. We've got 2 birthdays in the house that we know of today, so that's really awesome. Merry birthday! And merry birthday over there as well.
So I'm here with Graham from Dashboard Pirates. We've been following these guys for absolutely years and years. They actually played at our wedding, did Graham and Liz. So friends for years.
We are that old.
We've been friends for years. Graham's a legend. You want to see this guy play guitar? Have a look at this.
I had a fantastic night last night, really, really brilliant. So thanks to all my friends. I don't really tend to look forward to birthdays. I don't like getting older. I don't like planning, as anybody that watches this knows, because I don't like disappointment. But I actually had a really, really good night. Everybody came together and came out, and you know, sometimes you forget when you're in your van and you're travelling around and you meet people, and we've said this before, like when we've been, you know, when we're travelling around and what have you, that you meet people for like one-off encounters and you might never see them again, and it can be the most like poignant sort of encounter that you have, and I really value those. But sometimes you forget that, you know, you've got you know, a group of established friends as well, and it's really important to touch base with them as well, and that can be hard to do when you're on road a lot. So it's been really nice to sort of have the cottage free for us to come back to, because there's a lot of, you know, we do Airbnb in the cottage. So it's been nice for it to be vacant, for us to actually be able to come back, have a good night out, get some good decent rest, and I've really enjoyed it. So I thought what I'd do as well is just kind of show you a couple of little bits that I got. I haven't opened all my gifts because I've told like Reese and my children, I don't want my gifts, I don't want my cards, because I like to be able to have my birthday abroad, and I haven't been able to do that since COVID and everything. So it is, I'm waiting, I'm saving those. But I have opened a few bits, and I've had also some kind of really just generous, amazing things that have just been given to me out of the blue since coming back. So it's really amazing. I got this given yesterday there were like a little sort of craft fair going on that I just went in to have a look at, and the lady in there made these fairy houses. And out of the blue, and I've never met her before, she is like a local person to where we live, but obviously because we're on the road all the time, you don't meet, you know, everybody that kind of moves in and that's here. And she knew of us, and she just said, you know, can I please give you this? So we're absolutely amazed, you know, you're just really touched by somebody's generosity and what they've done. So it was absolutely amazing. So she gave me that, and it lights up and everything. One of my friends, as well as getting a beautiful pair of earrings from her, also gave me this for the boat. So absolutely gorgeous. And you know, as you know, if you've been watching the channel, the back of our boat has like the traditional boatsman's cabin. So if you go back a few episodes, have a look at that, you'll be able to see the inside of it. And it's painted out absolutely to perfection. And so this is going to go absolutely beautiful in that boatsman's cabin, maybe as like a little side table or something like that. I'm so excited about being able to put that in. I've also got these. They're just fantastic. They're amazing. I'm so absolutely suited and overwhelmed by the fact that somebody can actually make these. I know I make a lot of stuff, but if anybody's watched me trying to knit Reese's hat for the past like 4 years and it's still not completed, you know, I'm not very good at knitting. So my friend Angie, she made me these little pumpkins, so they're going to go on our fire, and I think they'll be really nice for guests to enjoy as well, won't they? Just want to give a big shout out to my little friend Oliver. He's on his holidays at the moment, and he had me in tears, honestly. He sent me this recorded message to wish me happy birthday while he were by the pool, going off to play. So thank you so much, Oliver. That meant the world to me. And enjoy your holiday, have loads of fun splashing about in the pool with your mum and your dad, and we'll come and see you very, very soon, I promise.
While we're here back at the cottage, which is rare, I thought we'd just like show you around a little bit. It's only small, so there's not a lot to see really, but it just kind of gives you an idea of kind of, you'll have heard us a few times in different episodes kind of referring back to the cottage, and we've got a cottage. So we'll just, I'll tell you a little bit about it. The cottage was built in 1860, it's a grade 2 listed building, and we worked really, really hard to kind of put it back to as original as it would have been. And when we're travelling kind of all over the UK, we pick up little trinkets and little bits, and then when we do get a chance to come back to the cottage, we kind of integrate that into the cottage. Obviously a lot of the stuff we keep with us in the van as well, but a lot of the things, kind of the treasures that we've found over the years are kind of still here. So I'll show you a couple of things. We were restoring the original fireplace. We came across this newspaper, and the newspaper's dated 1915, so it's really, really interesting. There's all sorts of kind of interesting things on there. And we also found these old coins, and what they used to do is they used to put the coins within the brickwork, within the stonework. And so when we were restoring the fireplace, we found these coins. So this one is 1876. So we've framed it because it's a proper piece of history. So each builder would kind of put a coin within the stonework. Now one of these coins in here is an Italian coin, so we must have had an Italian builder around 1860 that left his coin there. The cottage would have been an old weaver's cottage, and on the top floor that's where they would have done their weaving. This room here would have just been one room, so you would essentially have just had everything in this room basically. So your bathtub would have been in front of the fire, your clothes would have been hung on the walls to dry out, there would have possibly been a bed in here, and a table would have been the centrepiece of the room, and that's how Victorian life in 1860 would have been. And then you would have had some kind of makeshift wooden ladder going up to the weaver's part.
So we don't have what you'd class as traditional furniture in our cottage. So people don't tend to want to sit and have a coffee for very long. So that's a good tip for you if you don't want people to stay at your house for too long. We have 2 rocking chairs. We have a table and 4 chairs. So it's kind of all wooden seating, but that's how it would have been. So we've kept it quite traditional with that. And some of the bits that we've collected over time, you know, we've got like an old-fashioned telephone that's actually been rewired to work in modern day. We've got an old radio, and we've got various kind of little bits that we've picked up from little vintage shops across as travels, some stuff from Europe, some stuff from the UK, so there's a real mix. We've got one of the original old pramulators, which were one of the first prams that ever sort of came out, and apparently they came out in America first, I believe, and England. We thought they were a bit of a stupid idea, so we didn't actually use them until the royal family started to use them. We found that in a tiny little antique shop down south, so it's absolutely amazing that we've got that. An 1800s living room is one thing, but an 1800s bedroom would literally be just like a metal bed in an empty room. So we decided not to go with that, and we decided to go with like the 1940s type of era. Myself and Reese like love anything about that era. To be honest, we find any era in history interesting. When they didn't have as much technology and as much stuff like that. So we decided to do this in 1940s. Again, it's bits we've collected from all over the place and put in here. Some of it is not exactly accurate to 1940s, it's a little bit before, but in my mind, if you've got a bedroom or whatever in a house, you would have had things that you'd saved from previously. You would have had things from maybe previous generations that were passed down. So we do have some stuff that's a little bit older than 40s, some stuff that's slightly newer. But we've collected again all sorts of bits in here. So we've got kind of really old vintage newspapers, we've got sort of your old picnic kits, your old suitcases, things like that, hairbrush sets, and various kind of bits of clothing hung up so that it feels like somebody's living in here from that time. So I absolutely love this room. It's just like really stepping back in time. It's got a real old feel to it.
One thing I love about this room is because most of the things in here are like genuine, like antiques, like they're genuinely from like the 1940s era. So you get that real kind of smell. It's not a horrible smell. It's almost you almost step back in time. Like it smells like the 1940s. Like we haven't done that deliberately. It's just got some of the antiques and stuff. I've obviously retained that. So it kind of, you get a real sense in this room of kind of how it smells, and yeah, it's a really cool feeling. I quite like this room.
This is our like stairwell as well, which we realise the massive clock is not really in keeping with the era, but I just absolutely love it. So we've got that on the wall. We've got various kind of old prints, sort of biblical prints and things like that. And then we also have like our bedroom up on the top floor. And then we've got the bathroom, which, well, the bathroom's a bathroom, isn't it? But we have tried to keep it in keeping as much as we can with kind of an older style with the roll top bath and various little bits that we've just got dotted around.
So I hope you've enjoyed the little tour around our cottage. It's actually been quite nice to share this little part of our life with you. Obviously most of the time we're on the road and stuff, so when we do come back to the cottage, it's kind of our space and our time. But we thought we'd just share a little bit about the cottage, just because we keep mentioning it in different episodes and referring like to the Airbnb, and that we've got a cottage where we do Airbnb and things. That's obviously a little bit of how we make money on the road as well. For anybody that always kind of says, I see it quite a lot in the groups and stuff where people kind of go, how do you make money on the road? An Airbnb, if you've got somewhere that you can do that, is great for that, for the little bit of money that it does give you. So yeah, it's just been nice, I think, just to share that little bit apart, and for you guys to kind of go, oh yeah, I know what they mean now when they say the cottage and things like that. I will show you Dave. This is Dave. Emma don't think that's a very good name for a wizard, but I call him Dave the Wizard. So if you have got any better names than Dave, please do leave them in the comments. But I'm hoping that it remains Dave. If you like that, let me know.
Because we've managed to be back at the cottage, we have actually managed to get some deliveries in order to get us upgrades done for Romany. That's one of the things that's really difficult when you're travelling around a lot. So join us next week when you'll be able to see what those upgrades are. We've got to get out of here pretty sharpish now because we've got some guests coming. But don't forget to write your own story. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you next week.